So today's practice is something we call as a movement-based practice. It is known as auto move in unified mindfulness system. So different systems call it with in different ways. Auto move is basically the form of expression. How are we showing up in the world? So till now, what we did, see, hear, feel, and feel rest is appreciation, appreciating what is already there. We're seeing something, we're hearing something, okay, we are experiencing rest, we are noticing something which is already there. Auto move is basically noticing how are we showing up in the world, how are we expressing ourselves in the world. Right now, if you see my hand is moving, right? I am not planning to move my hand. There's a just happeningness to it, right? I can see Amitji just moved his finger right now on the screen, right? And he wouldn't have planned, okay, I have to lift my index finger, I have to put my index finger there. It's just happening, right? Richa just reached out to the left, right? And so many things are just happening, and it is driven by something which is bigger than you and me. There is some energy which is bigger than you and me that we probably don't understand. And this entire technique helps us contact that source, which we call it as, through the just happeningness, noticing how things are just flowing and happening. Now, how did this technique come about? In Zen practice, in fact, when Shinzen was doing multiple Zen retreats, he found that the Zen monks have a particular way of keeping things. They would keep the dishes the same way, the chopsticks the same way. Everything would be kept the same way. There was an automaticity for the way they did things. So that removed the weight from the head. It just became a memory for the body, right? So noticing this automaticity through the day became a way of practicing. One is we're doing the seated practice. But what do we do during times where you don't have time to sit, where you don't have probably too many things are happening in your life, too many stressors? You're constantly moving during the day. Can you use this movement as an anchor to do your mindfulness practice, right? How does it help you? You're training your attention by bringing your attention to these movements. So at the end of the day, it's the same set of things that we are focusing on. We are focusing on the body, right? It is just the different lenses we are using to focus on the body. First lens we used was sensations, feel. Then we used rest. Now we are using movement, right? So this is the way we are doing the practice. So let's just start with, if you have a bottle and a glass of water, and if you don't have a glass, then that's okay. Just you can even go get it from your kitchen if you'd like. Just get a glass and come. And as you're walking towards your kitchen, just notice your body movement. Just notice how much of it are you planning, how much of it is happening by itself. Right? If you're back, then I invite you to, I'll just wait for Amit also to get back. And I'd invite you to practice along, because listening to this call is quite pointless. You have to experience it to understand what this just happeningness is. It's a very subtle concept. It talks about spontaneity, the suddenness of your experience, right? So just, even if your video is off, just be sure that you're practicing along. Just wait for a few more seconds for Amit to come back. And for those of you who are already here, what you can do is take the bottle. Before you even grab the bottle, as you do it, notice which hand you're grabbing it from. Notice the hand you're opening it from. And notice the process of pouring. And notice the effort involved in all of it. And once you're done with pouring the water into the glass, take a sip and swallow it. And just notice the movement. That's all you need to notice. You don't need to understand anything. Notice the movement that is happening by the body as you do it, right? So you can start, you can pick the glass, the bottle, and just notice the movement. Amit, you can just start by taking the bottle. Yeah, just notice which hand you're using. Notice how the process is happening. Notice the effortlessness of the process, right? And just swallow it. So your thoughts, images, sounds, other bodily sensations, all are a distraction in this practice. You're just noticing the just happeningness in the process, right? So if anyone would like to unmute and share, what did you notice?
I grabbed the bottle with the left hand and I used my right hand to uncap the bottle.
Yeah,
And then I picked the glass in my left hand and poured the water and sipped it.
yeah,
Uh, so I noticed the movement of fingers, how these fingers were opening up.
yeah.
And while I was going to grab the bottle, I noticed that my hand was swinging. I did not plan on doing it. It is like it comes natural to me.
It just happens, right?
Yes.
And during the day, there are multiple things that just happen. Being
Mm.
able to notice it, you're spotlighting your attention on it, you're training your concentration. Your concentration skill is developing each time you're able to notice this effortless. One is the movement. Second is the effortlessness behind it. I'm not thinking 90 degrees, hand up, pick, weight. This is probably 500 grams. None of these thoughts are coming up. The effortlessness of it, we start noticing, and this makes our life a little easier. We start realizing how much we are supported in everyday life. We don't have to plan all these things. You get out of bed, 90 degrees, right leg out, left leg out. You wish, and it happens. So I see Pratiksha has raised her hand. She just decided that she wants to raise her hand. Her finger clicked on the reaction icon, and it happens, right? So that's how noticing that makes life a little easier. Yes, Pratiksha, you can unmute.
Hi.
Hi.
I noticed that I held the bottle with my right hand and
Yeah,
used my left hand to open it.
yeah,
But when I was closing the bottle, it was reverse. So I held
yes,
it with my left hand and I closed it with my right hand,
yes.
which I never noticed before.
Which you never noticed before, right? And to be honest, this is a reality. This is a real time experience happening in the now, and we never give it any importance because इससे क्या होगा,
Hmm.
right? But
It's like the work is getting done, so ध्यान नहीं जाता कि what efforts. Like I realized I was moving my hand so much.
yeah,
Like after opening the bottle with my left hand, I
yeah,
put the lid aside. I use the right hand to pour the water.
yeah,
Then again, I use the right hand to close the bottle.
yeah,
And I also realized while sipping that I have no control. I basically cannot push the water down my throat. It goes automatically. The only thing
yes,
I have control over is how much water I take into my mouth and the
yes,
speed with which I can swallow it, whether I want to take small gulp sips or, I can just gulp it in. That's the
yes,
only thing which is in my control. But
which
how
is
it
in
goes
your control.
inside or
Yeah,
it gets stuck somewhere and gives me a cough, that is something I don't have control over. So I
beautiful.
need to be more mindful and not just shove it down my throat.
Yeah, no, and that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of spontaneity. That's the beauty of this energy system that we actually are. So
Mm,
much of our life is so effortless, but because our attention never goes towards that effortlessness, we focus on the 10% effort we are putting into our life. My God, such a tough day I had, such a busy day I had. Right? For someone, taking this bottle, pouring it into a glass of water is an effort.
true, very true.
Right? For someone, this is a luxury. They would give anything to be able to do it. Right?
Mm,
And being able to train our mind to see it, this is effortless. So
mm,
beautiful. Right?
true.
That is important. The second thing you also start noticing, like you rightly said, it's happening by itself. I'm making
Mm,
a wish. I want to drink water, and my body ensures I'm drinking water. It's a learned behavior, yes,
mm,
but it has automatized to that extent. Right? So noticing that, spotlighting on that is also training your attention. At the same time, it's bringing you out of your head into your body. So the multiple benefits to the practice, right? So we are developing a concentration here by noticing the spontaneity. So we are noticing the movement. How is it different from a feel practice? In feel, I would notice the sensations. I would notice the weight of the bottle. I'd notice the temperature of the bottle. All of that I'll notice and feel. Here I'm noticing the picking, the pouring, and I'm just noticing the effortlessness of the whole process, right?
Yes, the urge just initiated the action. That's it. Like there was an urge
Yes,
and the action happened.
yes.
So there was no conscious effort of, okay, I'm thirsty, I'll go, I'll take water, I'll pour it, I'll have it. It was
Yeah,
just, I want to drink water, I pour it and I have it. It was
yes.
like one instant, like one
Yeah,
package. I didn't have to break it up and think it through.
yeah. So between the intention and the action, there is the source that is working,
Mm,
right? Being able to catch that source time and again is what helps us understand that everything in life we don't have to figure out. There's something that is supporting us always, always that support is there, and you start leaning into that unknown a little more,
true.
right? You start leaning into that unknown a lot more than we do because you start noticing it. Right? To
Mm,
lean into it, the mind needs some proof.
mm,
What is my proof you exist?
mm.
Right? And that is what the practice helps with. Right?
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Pratiksha. Now we'll do the second sensitizer. Yes, Amit. I thought you unmuted. No? No, no, no. I think basically the name toggled. Sorry. So the second activity is just keep both your palms facing downward and just gently move it up and move it down, move it up and move it down. You can even close your eyes. Now just release control over your hand a little, which basically means just loosen your muscles. You might notice the spread out palm suddenly drops downward. Just continue to move it up and move it down, up and down, up and down. After some time, you'll start noticing the up and down is just happening. You've just placed the intention to move it up and move it down, but it's just happening again by itself. Just notice that and stay with it for a few seconds. Now gently stop it. Bring your hand down and stop it. And you might notice some buzz or energy around if that happens for you. Now the second skill we are trying to develop is sensory clarity. Sensory clarity here is where we are starting to notice this automaticity, the spontaneity in our movements. Okay. Again, this is a subtle practice. It might take some time, but it is a powerful one for those of us who have excessive thoughts, who think a lot, who have a lot of challenges with negative thinking. Coming into your body is one of the easiest way to disconnect from the mind. Okay. So this was the second simple way of connecting with movement. Third one is focusing on subtle movements of the body. What I want you to do is just close your eyes, lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders. And as you breathe in and breathe out, just notice the movement in the body. What all is moving as you're breathing in and breathing out? Maybe your abdomen, your chest. Notice your spine. Does it elongate and collapse? Is there a subtle movement across your shoulders? Just stay with these subtle movements. Notice if there are any other subtle movements in the body. Is your tongue moving? Are you swallowing? Is your eyeball moving inside your eyes? Just notice these subtle movements. How are these involuntary movements just happening? Notice the beauty of the just happeningness in these moments. Train your attention to just stay with it for a few seconds. You might notice the movement of pain. You might notice the movement of a spasm. Just notice the effortlessness that is available to you in the body. Now gently transition back, open your eyes. And here comes the third skill, equanimity. Allowing experiences to be as they are. Would anyone like to share what they noticed when the subtle movements happened in the body? What were the movements you were able to notice? Yes, Richa. Yeah.
Stomach was going in and out.
Yeah.
I could feel the hot air going down my windpipe when I was
Yeah.
breathing in.
Yeah.
And there was a little tightness in my neck and
Yeah.
in lower back.
Yeah.
And that's it. I also noticed my hair flying here and there with the fan, but that is not the bodily movement. So
Yeah. Yeah. So even the tightness is a sensation, right? Tightness is a sensation. Movement is anything that is moving, right? Anything that is that where you feel that
yeah,
spontaneity or
shoulders were
bounce.
also going a little up and
Yeah,
like
where you notice the shoulder going up and
yes.
down. Okay, so this becomes the lens through which we are doing the whole practice. Okay, so equanimity here would be for some people, like for me, auto move took a very long time to make sense. Okay, and I'll be very honest, it literally was like, okay, I know movement is happening. What am I really looking for? Right. But the more you notice your movement, the more you start seeing the spontaneity behind it. So you start with just noticing the movement. My hand is moving. Okay. And sometimes you're just taken by surprise that how quickly the movement is happening, how easily, effortlessly the movement is happening. For me, one of the biggest experiences of auto move was again in the hospital. Too many negative thoughts, too many thinking. I didn't want to meet people, didn't want to talk to people because I wanted to ground myself. So something I used to do is pace around, walk around, right? And I realized the moment I'm able to focus on movements in my body, suddenly all the charge in the head seems to move towards the body and gets dissipated, right? And suddenly the fact that I was thinking this is so difficult, there are so many things to do, became that, my God, the moment I wish to move, my body is moving. How easy can life be? So you train your mind to start focusing on the fact that life is effortless. It's easy, right? Otherwise, the narrative of the mind keeps us stuck with the fact that life is very hard, very difficult. Okay. So we're going to do 3 practices. I see someone has mentioned, notice too many things. I felt a little overwhelmed, felt imbalance in the body. Example, shoulder heavier than the other. Yes. So shoulder heavier than the other is the sensation. Okay. At times when you're noticing your body very closely, um, as you rightly put it, overwhelm can tend to come up. If that happens, then bring your attention outside to something that stabilizes you, like a see here feel. Just notice things around you. Just feel the table that's in front of you, and then go back to practice. Okay, it's okay to do that. So this is a sustained focus practice. Yes, Richa.
Ma'am, I just wanted to understand like all of these practices. I mean, we are naming it because we are practicing these, but these are not isolated, right? I mean, all of these will come together. The practices we have done before and we are doing now. The
Yeah.
ultimate purpose is mindfulness in a
Yeah.
day-to-day routine, right?
Yes, the ultimate purpose is mindfulness in daily life. Now, why do we have so many practices? because every day is not the same, right? And through the day, if you're doing different things, you need different tools to do different kinds of practices. Like I talk a lot during the day, right? So for me, an auto move practice where I'm focusing on just the movement of my mouth helps me anchor my attention partially into the body.
Okay.
Right? So it basically gives you, just consider it like a buffet.
Okay.
Okay. You have this also, you have this also, you have this also. So it's why we are doing it for a month is so that you taste it and then you see, okay, how does this practice fit into my life?
Okay.
With how busy I am. So I have a client who only works with auto move. She does auto dance. That's her meditation practice. And absolutely fine, because you're training your attention to stay with bodily movements. You're still building your concentration, clarity, and equanimity. Right? I have clients who can't move at all, who are in the bed. So for them, a field rest practice works better. So you start using, we'll move into that a little later. You start using strategies, looking at which practice is working for me, which is not working for me. And you'll start seeing also in different stages of life, different practices work. That is why we have all these practices, right? And of course, you can use any practice. The key is consistency, right? For me, how I use auto move personally for myself is auto speak when I'm speaking. That's one way I use auto move. The second way is every time I go to the washroom, every time I'm climbing the stairs. These two are my anchors because I'm moving. I use the washroom multiple times a day. I use the stairs multiple times a day. So then that becomes a point where I'm training my attention to stay with my real-time experience. Right? So we're just doing, because the mind will get bored if you keep doing see, hear, feel.
Ma'am, and how are you able to? I know that you have been practicing for long. So
Yeah.
over the time, it just gets embedded, and the practice automatically triggers when you're doing a certain thing.
Yeah. So the thing is, you're basically associating an activity with the practice.
Okay.
Okay. If I fix 11 o'clock, I'm going to do the practice, my chances of doing the practice are very less. Whereas if I say every time I'm climbing the stairs, I'm going to do auto move. Even if I forget it the first few steps, suddenly I remember that I auto move.
Okay.
Right? So always tie up your practice with an activity, like tea with feel.
Okay.
Right? Opening the laptop with see. Right? It gets at least, and again, one problem all of us have is we want to do long duration of practice. It is better to do 5 minutes of quality practice rather than 1 hour of poor quality.
Understood.
Right? Yeah. So it comes over a period of time, and also you'll forget. Be kind to yourself. There will be times you'll forget, but that's why intentionality becomes important. Right? So today we're going to do 3 types of practices. One is going to be, yeah.
Preeti, I want to ask something.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
whether
yeah.
we are noticing our breath
Yeah,
or whether we are noticing how I pick up the bottle, how I pour,
yeah.
the idea is to anchor to the present moment, to be
Yes,
aware,
yes,
isn't it? Is
yes,
that the purpose?
yes. The idea is to stay with what is real.
What? Okay, because now when I'm watching my breath, now I'd open my eyes and I can see a beautiful hibiscus.
Yeah,
So my focus goes off the breath because I prefer seeing the hibiscus and I see somebody passing by.
yeah,
Then focusing becomes difficult. That's when you said close the eye, you can still.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So, yeah, go on.
the other thing is Preeti, yeah, breathing is natural and it's more of it's a gratitude that literally every thing. But do we have this kind of a luxury? Because
Yeah,
when I'm grabbing a bottle of water, normally most of the time we are doing multiple things together.
yeah,
Yeah. So when I'm
yeah,
doing that, I have something in front of me, it's coming automatically.
yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
uh, I'm just saying, aren't we slowing ourselves down? Because there's a beauty in the other thing also. When I'm also seeing this thing, also seeing that thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
wondering.
And
Sorry.
it's a great thing to discuss. So, let me start with the first part that you said. You're focusing on your breath, you see a hibiscus. I prefer the hibiscus,
Yeah.
right? So if I go back to the skill of equanimity, dropping preference is equanimity.
Yeah.
right? So that's the skill we are trying to develop. It's absolutely fine not to do any practice at any point in time, right? It's not like we have to, should, must. Why we do these practices is so that we can stay connected with what our real-time experiences are, and we are able to show up in a better way to the world, right?
I'm
Because
just saying, if I'm even, I'm looking at the hibiscus
yeah,
and I'm actually appreciating the hibiscus because that's nature, that is
yeah,
universe.
yeah,
So, and then it can also become sea because, I've let go of one.
yeah,
At the end of the day, I'm just wondering, this thought came to me. Literally, I think we all are mindless and still mindful because something or the other we are doing.
yes, yes,
Maybe I'm
yes,
not labeling it. I
yeah,
don't know mindfulness, but
yeah,
either I am hearing, either I'm seeing,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
which is true. But what happens in that way, right, Ritu, you go into seeing the hibiscus, then you're going back into the flood of thoughts that come back, right? What you're doing here with mindfulness is you're training your attention to stay with one experience for a few seconds. You're anchoring your attention. So each time my attention knows where it needs to stay, I am building the skill to come back to what is important to me at any given time. So when I'm having an emotional distress, I will usually get pulled into it. When we are living our life going where the mind wants to take us, there's nothing wrong with it. But if I'm getting pulled into where the mind wants to take me, which is rumination, which is feeling sorry for myself, which is why is my life like this? Why me? Blah, blah, blah. Coming out of that becomes challenging. That is one reason we do it. So, because when you're training your attention, you're giving your attention an anchor point, right? And secondly, we're doing it because we want to be happy irrespective of our life situation.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go really high or really low based on what is happening around me. I want to be okay with whatever I'm experiencing. That's
Right.
the second reason, right? So there's nothing wrong in not, the intention is not to say that everything you have to keep practicing, right? But the intention is to say that using these different modalities, can we train our attention to the extent we want to train it? So
That we have
somebody
more
might want,
control ourselves. I mean, the control is with
so
us.
that you
That's
can
what I think.
manage, yeah, so that we can manage ourselves better, right?
Understood.
That is the goal. And the thing is, somebody might want a six-pack ab. Somebody wants to practice 5 hours a day and attain nirvana. Wonderful. Somebody says, boss, I just want to do 20 minutes of walking every day. I want to stay healthy. So I will do 5 minutes of mindfulness. Absolutely fine. Whatever serves your life the best in this present moment, that's what we're looking at, right?
Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome. So we're basically going to do 3 types of practices today. One is auto move, which is auto walking. Okay. How is it different from walking meditation? In walking meditation, we'll walk slowly, intentionally, one foot after the other, noticing the sensation below our feet, noticing the weight of the feet falling on the floor, right? So walking meditation is something slower. Auto move is where you will walk the way you walk, okay? And you will notice, you will anchor your attention into movement points in the body, which can be the swinging of the hand, moving of the legs, or you can let your attention go wherever your body is moving through the practice, right? But in this practice, you're focusing on the movement. That is the key. The pace is not important. The key is the movement, right? So we'll first start with auto move, then we'll do auto chore, doing a work task. It can be typing, writing. Don't pick something very complex because your mind won't be able to focus on the movement if you're picking something complex. It can even be folding clothes, right? It can be any mundane task. And the third thing we'll do is auto dance, okay? Focusing on movement of the body as you're dancing. If you haven't danced in a long time, absolutely fine. Turn off your video and dance. Nobody is watching. You're doing it for yourself, right? So I see a comment here. Observing my mouth while talking will make me aware of my talk and help me observe energy and not talk excessively. Yes, for me, it helps me maintain my pitch. because I have a very high pitched voice. Okay. And when I get excited, my pitch really goes very high. It's almost like I'm screaming at my client. So, so for me, it is almost like a essential thing I do. So I watch my voice. Okay. So find a way to apply it in your own life. So we'll get started with auto walk. I will give you about, yes, I see Shruti's hand up. Yes, Shruti?
Yeah, Preeti, I observed like when my focus is going to the move,
Yeah.
which is the action, some action which is happening involuntarily
Huh?
before.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is I'm doing it differently, and my attention is going to that.
Isn't it beautiful how the observer effect, right? When something is observed, it changes,
Yeah.
right? And that's okay. It won't happen every time, but sometimes it can tend to happen. The goal is not to change what you're doing. The goal is just to observe.
Change is also happening without my intentional knowledge.
Yes, yes, yes. And how
Yeah.
so just notice the just happeningness behind it. Now, as you're listening to me, just notice your eyes blinking. Your eyes are constantly blinking,
Mm.
right? Isn't it beautiful that this is my real time experience? I leave out this and I'm thinking about usne ye bola, isne ye bola, isne aise kiya, which is not even the truth in the moment. The truth is my
Yeah.
eyes are blinking. If I can keep my attention there, I'm training my attention. Thanks for sharing that, Shruti. And that's a very valid thing to notice. And that's insight. When we start observing that, oh, when I observe something, it changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.
So we'll get started. We'll do a 5 minute auto walk, auto move. And here it is auto walk, right? So just walk wherever you are. You don't need to step out. It can be the small room. Just let go of control of your body slightly. Okay. If you notice your body is stiff, just let go, release control of your body. Just slowly walk around, pace around in the room, and just we'll meet again in 5 minutes. Let me see if I can add a timer here. And just be around the screen so that I can call out to you once 5 minutes is over. Okay, any questions? There are no labels in this practice because this is a sustained focus practice. You keep bringing your attention back only to the movement. And any thoughts, sounds, images, if you see, oh God, there's so much clutter in that corner of the room, that's a distraction. You will come back to movement. Okay, so just keep coming back to movement. So I've just started the timer. You can get started. And even I'm going to do my work and just be back. Okay. Whenever you feel complete, you can just come back, settle back into the seat. And if anyone would like to share their experience, please do. Yes, Richa.
Ma'am, I noticed the swinging of my arms, and I could see that my this forefinger is a little raised up than the other fingers.
Yeah.
Other fingers and this thumb, I mean, they had a peculiar position.
Yeah.
My feet were at 30 degrees. It's not like I'm walking straight.
Yeah.
One feet was walking straight and one feet was at least 20 or 25 degrees.
Yeah.
Then I could feel, I mean, over after 2-3 minutes, I could feel that my waist and hips were swinging.
Yeah.
And I could also feel that I did not intend to move my head. It was moving, looking
Right.
at the looking at different things,
Yeah.
and it was going up and down at some places.
Yeah.
So yeah, ma'am,
Yeah.
these are the
Yeah.
things I noticed.
No, that's wonderful, Richa. And you know, the mind will tell you, isme kya hai?
Hmm.
Okay. And that's the nature of the mind, right? But this is way more real than any thought you have.
Correct, ma'am.
ये आपकी सच्चाई है, ये आपकी असलियत है, right? And
हाँ जी.
being able to tune into that in a given moment, you're training your attention to look at divine flowing through you at any given moment.
या क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग में ऐसा लग रहा था कि पैर और आर्म्स ही तो मूव हो रहे हैं, जो हमें पता है कि मूव होते हैं.
हाँ.
बट देन आई स्टार्टेड नोटिसिंग द angles and positions, how my feet were placed. I could see that my heel was hitting the ground first, and then जो आगे का है वो नीचे जा रहा था.
Yeah. And the beauty of this, no, is that you need a thinking mind. But do
Correct.
we need a thinking mind 24/7? You don't.
No.
You need
No.
a feeling body, right?
Correct.
You need a feeling body also. That is what we're trying to do right now, is come from the head to the body. This will be very helpful for people who have rumination. I know as women, we tend to ruminate a lot. जो भी हुआ है, इसने ये बोला है, उसने ये किया है, it never ends.
Correct.
Okay. So
Correct.
great way to come back to the present, appreciate the source working within you, and just noticing these things is beautiful, right? Thank you for sharing that, Richa.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pratiksha?
Yeah, so I noticed my mind was moving more than my legs. There was so much of analysis going on while I was
Yes,
walking.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
legs to jo move kari thi, mind was walking much faster.
yes.
Because, I was analyzing my gait. Why is my left foot landing like this? Why is my right foot landing like this?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then I started getting into correcting, I should be like this. And then I had to come
Mm,
back. No, this is just observation. You're not going to correct, you're just going to observe.
yeah, yeah.
So, and again, it felt a little heavy in terms of like when I was observing each movement. So
Mm,
it's like, okay, my leg lifts, it goes down. The other leg lifts,
yeah.
it felt so effortful, something that we take for granted. It suddenly felt, oh my God, so many steps.
Yeah,
It wasn't like I was directing it to, but just even observing it felt like, oh my God, so much effort. And I just wanted to sit down.
yeah, yeah. No, and thanks for bringing that up. There are two parts to what you've shared, right? The first part is that noticing the fact that you're doing a lot of it through your mind.
Hmm.
We are living our entire life through our head. That is the biggest problem.
Hmm.
Right? So even if I'm talking, I'm thinking, oh, are people understanding, people not understanding? Is it making sense? Is it not making sense? Etc. Right? Some bit of
Hmm.
it has value, but not all of it. When I'm eating good food, why do I need my head? When I'm
Yeah.
walking, I just need to watch my steps. Why do I need my head? I
Right.
don't, right? The protective factor of your mind will always take care. You, of course, won't run under a bus or run under a car by yourself, right? But that will always take care. The reflex action will always be there. But that movement out of the head is the toughest thing,
Hmm.
right? And
Very
that is the challenge I feel all of us face when, because we identify so much with our mind that we don't see us and our mind as separate.
Mm.
That is one part of it. The second part of it, when you mentioned that it felt very effortful, right? It felt effortful probably, and this is, I can't make an assumption based on your experience, but probably because you were trying hard to observe,
Mm.
right? You were
Yes.
trying hard to find the just happeningness.
Mm.
So
Okay.
this also happens when you are breathing, okay? When people ask you to focus on your normal natural breath, for many people, it becomes very hard.
Mm.
Why? Because, okay, I have to breathe in, out, but it's happening 24 hours.
Mm.
Why is it effortful? Because I am not focusing on the just happeningness. I am focusing on, I feel I have to find something there.
I'm probably trying to make it happen and control it, I guess.
The moment you're controlling, then the letting go of control is the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
Auto move, that is why I said let go of your body a little loose, right?
Mm.
One of the most beautiful practices in the auto part is the do nothing practice. Okay, we will do it in another time, but that's again a very beautiful practice to do, where you are actually noticing that everything is happening without your interference.
Mm.
Half the problem is our interference, right?
True.
We need to do things, but how much do you need to control on a day-to-day basis?
Mm.
Right? So the effort could be one, because you feel the need to control. Two, because instead of observing just the movement, you are trying to manipulate the movement.
Mm.
Right? So both of it could be factors to effortfulness, but just see. And I would say, like, as you're talking right now, notice the movement of your neck, notice the movement of your eyes, notice the movement of your hand, if you're doing any of that. Right? And you will
Yeah.
start noticing in daily life automatically that shit, all this is so effortless.
True.
Right? And but that's the whole game. And this practice, as I told, it's a subtle one. It takes some time for all of us to grasp it.
I think initially it's feeling overwhelming because it's just like too many things coming into my awareness. So
Yeah,
maybe that's why I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. But
yeah,
I think also realizing that the things that are overwhelming me are actually happening by themselves
yeah,
will probably help me drop it and get more relaxed.
yeah.
I'll
The
probably feel more calm
Yeah,
after the practice when I realize that, wow, so much is being taken care of. I'm
so
not
much
doing
is
it.
being
So
taken care. Yes, yes.
I can focus on what I really need to do rather than worry about the other things.
Yeah. And the overwhelm is a reaction for the practice.
Okay.
Right? So fear is a reaction to practice. Overwhelm is a reaction to practice. Feeling great joy is a reaction to practice. Right?
Mhm.
So all these are reactions to practice. So one is, of course, you don't have to traumatize yourself. If it is getting very difficult, don't do it.
Mhm.
Okay, stay with feel. You're still
Okay.
building your concentration, clarity, equanimity as you're moving. You can still use the label feel and stay with it, right? Try to use it in like shorter practices when you're sitting on the table, when you're typing something, things like that. Try to do it where your focus is even more narrow. That is one way. The second way is, if the overwhelm is coming up, it's constantly pulling your attention, then label it as feel. Notice where the overwhelm is coming up. If there are
Mhm.
thoughts associated with it, label it as here. So this is known as recycling the reaction. Whatever is the reaction to the practice, we fold it into the practice,
Right. Right.
right? And then
I
you
was
come
thinking,
back. Yeah,
so like I remember when we did the practice of sitting with a beverage and sipping it,
yeah,
that and the other practice when you're just doing your normal daily chores and observing it, those two
yeah.
were very relaxing for me.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. So we'll try now. We'll do two more practices and see how it goes. We are at 11:50. We have 10 minutes. I hope people have some extra time to stay. Another 10-15 minutes after 11. Yeah, great. And if you don't, then you can catch up on the recording, right? Shruti, you have a question?
Yeah. What I observed is when my focus is going on to the movement or
Hmm,
chores I'm
hmm,
doing,
hmm.
when my observation is going, I'm doing them slowly.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'm doing a bit fast.
Yeah,
When my observation is going, I'm doing the same task slowly.
slowly.
That
Yes.
I observe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We do tend to think multitasking makes our tasks faster, easier, but trust me, your brain cannot process more than one experience at a time. Even if you
Mm.
multitask, first time you're cooking and you can't talk on the phone. If you're cooking the 100th time, you can talk on the phone. So you can multitask with tasks which are mundane. One task is mundane. Both tasks have to be mundane for multitasking. You can't do a new
Right.
learning task and another task together, right? So slowing down doesn't mean you're less effective. Slowing down, and you will start noticing time expands and contracts if you slow down. In 5 minutes, you can get done with so many things that you couldn't get done with earlier because you're coming from a more settled place of doing it, right? So
Okay, okay.
that's a wonderful observation. Just keep noticing these things, and it's just great to hear you talk about them, right? So now we'll go into
Yeah.
the second practice, which is an auto chore or an auto write practice. For those of you who don't want to do a chore, take your diary. Okay. Chore can be anything from folding clothes, tidying your table, dusting, but try to keep it mundane. Okay. And your writing task also needs to be something, just I would say, write your thoughts. Don't think too much about what I should write. If nothing comes up, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write is also fine. But the key is you're observing the movement of your hand. That's all. Your focus range is narrow to the movement of your hand if you're doing a writing task. If you're doing any other form of chore, folding clothes, tidying your desk, your attention again is only on that movement of those body parts which are involved in doing that task. Okay. So we'll just get started. We'll do this for about, again, we'll do it for about 5 minutes. If it is a complex task, then focusing on movement will become difficult. So just try to pick something that is easy. And if you finish the writing task earlier, you can always tidy up. You can always do something else. The key is your attention is on the movement. Now gently, you can just come back to your seat. And share what your experience was.
Ma'am, I did two tasks. First, I
Yeah.
did the writing,
Yeah,
and I could see that I was adjusting my pen between the words.
yeah,
I was adjusting the pages.
yeah,
My fingers were trying to get a better grip on certain alphabets
yeah,
on the pen.
yeah,
And yeah, that is it. And while I was working in the kitchen, after
yeah,
that, I was tidying up the slab of the
yeah,
kitchen.
yeah,
I could see that I was constantly using my left and right hand,
yeah,
passing the things between each hands to make the process fast. Like I'm opening the cupboard with one hand, I'm keeping the things, and then I'm coming back.
yeah,
And I'm using, if I have to put something in the dustbin, I'm using my feet to press the pedal, and then
yeah,
so there are multiple things happening in one moment.
yeah.
We are using the whole body to pace up the process,
Yeah.
and we don't even observe it on the daily
You
basis.
don't even observe it. Yes. And the beauty of this, no, the more you start doing, you start looking at all these chores as not, none of us like doing any of this. Okay. We don't look at it as a problem. You look at it as a practice. And trust me, you will never forget where you've kept what. it's
True, true.
it's so
Um,
interesting when you start doing this, you start getting images of where you've kept what, like when you don't remember. You were saying something, Richa.
no, no, ma'am. I was coming to this point only. Earlier, also, I was thinking that sometimes, like, I'm not able to find anything. Then I am trying to remember, oh, where did I keep these things?
Yeah.
And sometimes I keep telling people with age, my memory is getting weak, but I think it is just a lack of observation, because my mind is engrossed in, my mind is not in the present. So I'm not even
Yeah.
observing what am I doing in the present moment.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to remember where did I keep the things. I go to the fridge and forget what I wanted to take. So these
Yeah.
all are the things happening because of non-observation, because we are not
Yeah.
presently observing the moment.
Yeah, you're not with the moment, right? So automatically it does tend to happen. So wonderful. Pratiksha writes, doing mundane tasks felt very relaxed. And you could do them slowly. Wonderful. Slightly challenging tasks irked or triggered me. Now this is interesting, right? So now what's our concentration? To focus on the moment. Sensory clarity, noticing the just happeningness. Equanimity is allowing whatever happens during the process to happen. If I'm feeling irritated, I keep that in the background and come back to the task, because my role is to focus on the movement. However, if it is too triggering or getting too much, of course, step out of the practice and come back. But that's how we build the skill of equanimity. There's a beautiful book, Man's Search for Meaning, written by Sir Viktor Frankl, right? And it's a beautiful book because he says the moment you're in that concentration camp that he was taken to in Auschwitz, he says, suddenly your preferences drop because you're fighting for survival. Trust me, as human beings, these preferences can only be there when we have these privilege and luxuries, right? But when we have to survive, we'll do just about anything. We will do jhadu, pocha, bartan, whatever somebody wants us to do, we will end up doing it because there is no scope for preference, right? At the same time, I'm not saying you should not have a preference, but what I'm saying is noticing that the preference is coming up, being able to drop that preference once in a while, and start from low risk to high risk situations. In a very intense situation, if you try dropping the preference, it will feel like self-abandonment, which you don't need to do. But do it in low risk situations. Like, okay, I don't feel like doing this task right now, but can I just push myself a little and do it, right? For me, working out is something I don't particularly enjoy. I like yoga, I like walks, but if you ask me to do a proper gym type workout, I find it terribly boring, right? So learning to drop that preference once in a while helps build equanimity, right? So noticing that as lack of equanimity and being able to do it, okay, for 5 more minutes, I'll try to. That's one way of working with it, okay? So we've done 2 practices now. We did auto move, we did auto chore. Now we'll do auto dance. I'm playing the music today, but you can choose to play any music of your choice. So what I'd invite you to do is turn off the video if you want and just dance your heart out. And as you're doing the dance, notice how your body moves. If you consider yourself not a dancer, you don't know steps, you're really bad at dancing, just allow your body to listen to the music and let it sway the way it wants to sway. Okay? You can even sit and do, you can stand and do, whatever works for you. So I want you to now, I'll just be sharing the music, not the audio. This is, okay, this is the happy song, which all of you might have heard, I'm guessing, at some point. So I'll just start. It's about a 4-minute song, probably 3.5 minutes we'll play it. And just dance and come back. And I'd invite you to do this practice because it's powerful to notice what your body can do with music. Okay? So just come back and we'll talk about it. Able to hear?
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without
can come back and settle down. It'd be wonderful to hear about your experience.
Ma'am, I just noticed that otherwise, maybe without music, I wouldn't have done such a high intensity cardio. It is
Yeah.
my movements were constantly in sync
Yeah.
with the music, and the hands were in sync.
Yeah.
The legs were in sync, and I was checking myself out in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I could see that the body is completely in sync.
Yeah.
Left hand will fold and right hand would open like this. And I noticed that I am starting every movement with my left side of the body.
Yes.
And I'm constantly dancing on my toes to keep up with the music.
Yeah. And that is insight. That is sensory clarity. Being able to notice that from the left side, I'm starting off. Noticing these things is you're building your sensory clarity. You're understanding yourself better and better and better as a being, right? So that's beautiful. And as you rightly said, it's a cardio. This, if nothing, it helps you with serotonin and dopamine. It helps you with the happy hormones, right?
Yeah, it constantly lifts up the mood. Like I was constantly focusing on happy, and I was getting happy while I was dancing.
Yes, it lifts up your mood, and it took 3 minutes to do it.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? 3 minutes of your day, any music of your choice. If you didn't like this music, absolutely fine. Pick a music of your choice. It can be bhangra. It can be anything that someone wants to do. One, you're moving your body. Moving the body itself releases a lot of restless energy that we hold on to. So there are two hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol is a stress hormone, which you can relax, you can calm down, and you can reduce it. For adrenaline, it's an energizing hormone. You have to somewhere move your body, right? To get rid of that restlessness. So it also helps with that. Thanks for sharing, Richa. Thank you.
Ma'am, and one more thing, I think this is what we say, that you should dance like no one is watching.
Yes.
This is how you should dance like.
Yes. So we'll be doing these practices now regularly for a month, right? So we will do also do nothing practice. We'll do a dance-based practice. So this will train your mind to place your attention in real time in different ways. In different ways. That's what we're trying to do, right? So wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Richa. Pratiksha?
Yeah, so I noticed that my foot started tapping first, then my head started moving, then the rest of my body joined in. It wasn't all at once.
Yes.
And even after the music got over, my body's kind of still tapping to it,
Moving.
even though there's no music.
Yeah, and so beautiful, no? So beautiful.
Yeah. And like you said, like you have to push yourself at times to do things you don't like.
Yeah.
Similarly, I feel if you're feeling down, you just have to push yourself consciously, maybe just to put some good music, and then the body will take over and just, help you relax. That part the body will take care of.
Yes.
I probably just need to engage in something which I know will make me happy.
Yes.
Whether it's music or some other activity, just that much conscious effort I need to put in.
Yes. And and that can be anything, right? So mindfulness doesn't need to be, okay, I have to close my eyes, I have to effort the hell out of my life to practice. It can be a fun way of practicing also. So I work with someone who's a senior, almost 70 plus the individual is, and the way I make her practice is sometimes with Muhammad Rafi music. She enjoys Muhammad Rafi music, right? So why not? Right? So that's what you will learn in your own being. What is your way of showing up to the present?
It really helps, Preeti, because a lot of the time closing your eyes and sitting brings up a lot of emotions you're not ready to deal with. And then if you don't have anybody to, help you through it, it becomes very difficult. So just a simple thing like playing music and moving your body can at least get you out of that thing and, empower you to deal with it better.
Absolutely. At no point we want to dismiss what we're feeling, but as you rightly put it, we want to deal with it when we want to deal with it. We want to be trauma informed, right? We always don't have to work with what you're feeling. It's okay to allow it to dispense. It's okay to lift up your mood a little and come back to it later. And these become avenues for you to do it.
Very true.
Yeah. So wonderful.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you. Yes, Ritu.
So, Preeti, I want to talk about the writing exercise which we did.
Yeah.
So, I had picked up gratitude journal,
Yeah.
and the reason for me picking it up was that I love doing it,
Yeah.
and I was wondering whether it's going to be more of a feel, but I
Yeah.
wanted to notice how my body reacts when I'm feeling high,
Yeah.
because I'm visiting those, moments which have been great.
Yeah.
A few moments which have been great because,
Yeah.
I can't capture everything.
Yeah.
So, I didn't see any difference in how I was writing, but I suddenly saw my posture change. I was sitting straight.
Yes. Yes.
I was more alert. I could, of course, feel my facial muscles, you know, changing, me
Yeah.
smiling, and this was all involuntary.
Yeah.
So I did it particularly to, to realize that if, in that state of mind when you're happy, how is your body automatically reacting?
Yes. Yes.
So I found myself more alert and, more upright,
Yeah.
uh, being in the
And
moment.
that's sensory clarity.
Okay. So,
Right?
and I know many
Yeah.
times when I've written a gratitude journal, I say, यार मेरी handwriting को क्या हुआ? It's not very neat.
Yeah.
So for me, maybe I take pride in something which nobody is going to read.
Yeah.
But there is something which I feel very happy reading
Yeah.
it again and again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just wanted to,
No, and
realize or
thanks for
understand.
sharing. So, because noticing the posture movement, that is also, it happens through the day, right? Right now, I can see Richa fiddling with her fingers, okay? That movement is happening involuntarily, it's happening.
Yeah.
So, all you need to do to come back to the present is noticing that movement.
Yeah.
When you're writing something, typing something, noticing the posture, change of posture that's happening, that's all you need to do, right?
Yeah,
So,
because it automatically happened. And maybe I was
yeah,
slouching and then I said,
yeah,
for me, it was as if my suddenly my feeling took over
yeah.
and it was telling my body it's an important task and you need to be here.
And did you
I just
see
want to
that
feel here.
spontaneity of it, the
Yeah, I know,
effortlessness of it?
absolutely. And it's made me feel happier. So it was like a cycle. I
Yeah,
felt good. My muscles reacted well. My
yeah,
feel factor told my muscles it's important task,
yeah,
be there. So,
yeah.
yeah. So thank you.
That's
I
wonderful.
happen. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you. So through this month, we're going to do these auto move practices. The last practice in the auto move, basically the auto sector involves auto move, auto think, and auto speak. Auto speak, you would have noticed when you're chanting, where it automatically happens, right? Auto think, you would have heard people say, the idea just came to me. It just came. The thought just came. So we're not going to do auto speak and auto think right now. This whole month we're focusing on auto move, auto chore, auto dance, auto move, or auto walk is what we'll focus on. And every day I'll give you nudges to bring it into practice into your daily life. So today I'd invite you just to think of one place where you can apply auto move every day. Just can you reflect on one place? And a short practice, not a long practice. Every time I'm drinking a cup of water, can I use auto move? Right? It can be something like that. So just take a moment and think when I'm opening my laptop, because you're moving. When you're opening, you're removing the laptop from the bag, you're putting it on the desk, you're opening, right? So is there anything that comes up? You can even put it into the chat and just say which is one way you're going to apply auto move in your daily life. And every day we do it, right? That's how it becomes a habit. It becomes an integral part of your being. While cooking, yes, that's completely auto move. Bathing, brushing. Bathing, brushing is wonderful. Remembering becomes the problem. Okay, so having some kind of cue to remember, maybe a sticker in the bathroom or something, becomes helpful. Typing, yes, while typing on the laptop, you can apply. Even auto move when you're picking your phone. We pick our phone on an average 152 times a day. It is shameful, but that's the amount of time we pick up our phone on an average, okay? So just doing an auto move while doing that, while using stairs, while drinking coffee, yes. So while drinking coffee, Shruti, you will notice the movement, the picking, gulping, swallowing. You will not notice the sensations. Okay, you can also combine the two, but this is what auto move will basically be. That will help me reduce my screen time too. Yes, wonderful. So great. So find ways that you can use auto move in while having breakfast. Auto move while picking the phone will reduce screen time. Yes, because one, you're creating a moment's pause when you're automatically bringing your attention to the now, right? Because most of the time it's happening so automatically we don't even realize. When you pick the phone, you're going into the phone, you have a routine of apps that you will open, WhatsApp, Twitter, whatever that you'll open. It's all happening automatically. Just start observing. Your phone use is a great way to notice auto move. What do you go to next? What do you go to next? That becomes a great way. So wonderful. I will send a short write-up on auto move, and I will send there is no guidance per se for these practices, but every day when we meet up, we'll start practicing from tomorrow. And from tomorrow, we'll also start doing a new breathing practice. Yes, Pratiksha.
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to share.
Yeah.
I just noticed Richa drinking water,
Yeah.
and I realized like we were talking about we do things on autopilot.
Yeah.
So for me also, even when I'm closing, opening the bottle, it's so much on autopilot.
Yeah.
Only when the cover gets stuck and the bottle doesn't close properly is when I realize that,
Yeah.
oh, it's not fitting properly. I need to open it and I need to close it consciously. That's
Yeah.
the only time I'm doing it consciously. The rest of the time, just pick it up, open, close it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, the only time when it's stuck is when the mind actually pays attention to it.
Pays attention. Yeah. And why? Because the mind is too busy trying to fix everything in our life in our head all the time, right? Most of the time, just start noticing, okay, where is your attention if it is not with what you're doing? Why does it need to be there anywhere else other than where it needs to be, right? It's crazy. But it's interesting to notice these things. And
Right. Just like running to the next task, next task, next
Yeah.
task,
Yeah.
not being here with what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to complete the next task in your head instead of completing the one in your hand.
Yeah. And that tires you out even more than actually doing the task.
Very true.
A lot of people I work with, they are mostly tired because of thinking of their task rather than doing their task. That's what tires people out. It's interesting to notice.
Because oftentimes I've noticed when I'm on the mobile or I'm
Yeah.
overthinking, I
Yeah.
don't have to wait till evening or night to get tired. I'm tired late morning itself. And it's
Exactly.
so difficult to recover that energy after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, something I tell people, especially who are struggling with motivation to move, is get up, dress up, show up. Just take your body to wherever you need to reach. Your body will take care of the rest of it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's good.
So my go-to mantra is get up, dress up, show up, because there are times your body doesn't want to do things. Your mind doesn't want to do things. Let's put it that way. Your mind doesn't want to do things, right? And we take it as an absolute truth. We take it as an absolute truth. Oh, my mind doesn't want to do, so I won't do. If your body doesn't, it's a different thing. I'm having any pain, I'm unwell, it's understandable. But a lot of times it's the mind that doesn't want to do. So sometimes just taking the body to the place becomes helpful.
Wow. Yeah. So I have to differentiate between the mind not wanting to do it and the body not being able to do it.
Because you also want to be self-compassionate, right? You don't want to be like, I have to, I should, I must. But at the same time, you also don't want to believe every thought you have to be your absolute truth. So someone else I work with basically struggles with. So he struggles with coming to my sessions also. Okay. So he says, till the point I join your session, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll message Preeti, I'll tell her not today, things like that. He said, but the moment I'm here, I don't want the session to be over. Right. And that tells you, the moment you start believing everything your mind says, you're literally going in the path that someone else wants you to follow.
But then, Preeti, why do we resist something that we know will make us feel good?
Because we are creatures of comfort, no? It's uncomfortable to do it, no?
Even though the results are good.
Even though the results are good. But to go through the process is uncomfortable. Going to the gym, I want to become fit, right? But the process is uncomfortable.
Right.
Doing a session like this, the process is uncomfortable. I have to sit with myself for 20-30 minutes. I might feel good, but that process is uncomfortable, and everything will resist kind of going through that process.
Right. Get it.
Yeah. So
actually, it makes sense to me because I also do not enjoy working out, but when I reach the gym, it becomes easier for me. And most of the time, I have noticed, somebody said this to me, just show up. Now it is making more sense. Like, what do we mean by just showing up?
Yeah.
What works for me is not thinking about anything. Just get up and go to the gym, reach the gym, even if I'm doing it for 20-30 minutes. So to address that, I eliminated one factor, the distance. So I have joined the nearest gym so that I eliminate that reason that I don't have to, because my mind used to give these reasons to me. It is too far, you can't go, you will get tired, this and that.
Yeah. So, in fact, if you haven't read Atomic Habits by James Clear, read it or just get the summary of the book. It's beautiful. Huh? So he says things like, just keep your shoes and your clothes out the previous day, right? Reduce the number of steps to doing something if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, increase the number of steps, right? Like if you eat sweets, chocolate, then say that only after I go to the gym, I'll eat sweets and chocolate.
Correct.
Right? So that's what he says. And it's interesting, even Shruti says, exercising is difficult. So what I've started doing, there's some app called a 7, okay? It's a 7-minute high intensity exercises. So baseline is 7 minutes of exercise every day. Not too much, not baseline every day, no matter what, 7 minutes of exercise. At home, don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to change my clothes. I don't need to do anything. I can do it at home with comfort. That is baseline. Over and above that, whatever I can do, I go ahead. But that keeping some minimum limit also becomes helpful, right? So wonderful. So thank you so much. Hope it was a good session for everyone, and hope you have some takeaways. We'll keep continuing the conversation on the group, and we'll start practicing. Tomorrow we'll do, of course, our gratitude practice. From Monday, we'll start doing the auto move practice. Yeah. So wonderful.
It was an amazing session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti. God bless.
Bye.